Hey everyone, welcome. So, you've got some crypto sitting on Binance, and you're probably asking yourself that big question: what now? What should I be doing with it? Well, today we're going to demystify the two main savings options on the platform: fixed versus flexible. Let's dive right in. First off, let me ask you something. Is your crypto just sitting in your spot wallet? Collecting a bit of digital dust? It's super common, right? You're holding on for the long haul, but in the meantime, those assets aren't really doing anything for you. But here's the thing, it doesn't have to be that way at all. With Binance Savings, you can actually turn those idle assets into a real source of passive income. It's time to make your cryptos start working for you, around the clock. Okay, so when you look into Binance Savings, you're basically faced with two main paths. Let's get to know the two main contenders for your crypto: flexible savings and fixed savings. First up, we've got flexible savings. And honestly, the name says it all. It is all about flexibility. You can put your crypto in, and this is the important part. You can pull it out whenever you want. No questions asked, no strings attached. Just think of it like a really good high-yield checking account, but for your crypto. And on the other side of the ring, we have fixed savings. Now, this one asks for a bit more of a commitment from you. You agree to lock up your funds for a set amount of time. It could be 7 days, 30 days, maybe even 90 days. And your reward for that commitment, a much higher interest rate. This is basically the crypto world's version of a certificate of deposit, a CD from a regular bank. All right, so now that we've met the players, let's throw them into the ring for a proper showdown. We're going to compare them head to head on the stuff that really matters so you can figure out where you want to put your money. So the number one key difference, the big one, is all about access to your funds, or what's often called liquidity. With flexible savings, you have total liquidity. You see a great trading opportunity or have an emergency, you can get your funds right now. But with fixed savings, it's a different story. Your funds are locked in, they're committed for that whole term you agreed to. And this brings us to the big trade-off. That amazing freedom you get with flexible savings, well, it usually comes with a lower interest rate, and that rate can also change depending on the market. But with fixed savings, your patience really pays off. You get a higher, predictable interest rate that's completely locked in for the entire term. No surprises. All these differences in access and rates, they really boil down to one simple thing: your level of commitment. With flexible savings, there's zero long-term commitment. You are in the driver's seat, 100%. Fixed savings, on the other hand, works on these preset timelines. You pick how long you want to lock up your funds, and you just stick with it. And this table just lays it all out, nice and simple. Look. High liquidity gets you a lower variable rate with zero commitment. Low liquidity, meaning your funds are locked, gets you a higher fixed rate in exchange for that commitment. It's that classic balance, But here, it's more of a flexibility versus reward balance. So, after all that, which one should you actually choose? Well, here's the secret. There's no single better option. It's really about which one is better for you and fits with what you're trying to achieve. You're probably going to lean towards flexible savings if you're someone who absolutely needs to have access to your funds at a moment's notice. Maybe you're an active trader, or you're building up an emergency fund in crypto. Or maybe you're just dipping your toes in and want to see how it all works. If any of that sounds like you, flexible is probably your best bet. Now, on the other hand, you should seriously be looking at fixed savings if your number one goal is to get the best possible return. If you're a long-term hodler and you know for a fact you're not going to need to touch these specific funds for a while, then this is the perfect set-it-and-forget-it option that's going to earn you a higher guaranteed yield. This is for the planner, the person who loves predictable growth. So at the end of the day, it all comes down to your strategy for your crypto. Both of these are fantastic tools, but they're built for different jobs. And here's a pro tip: you don't have to choose just one. If you take just one thing away from all this, let it be this little mantra: flexibility is for freedom. Fixed is for foresight. One gives you freedom of access, the other rewards you for planning ahead. And the smartest strategies often use a mix of both. Think about it. Keep your emergency fund inflexible, but put that long-term Bitcoin stack in a fixed plan to earn some serious yield. So, I'll just leave you with this question. Now that you know the difference, now that you've got the playbook, what's your strategy going to be? Are you going to go for total liquidity, or are you going to maximize those returns? Or maybe you'll create a smart blend of both and get the best of both worlds. The choice is yours.